we go. Okay, welcome to our first team training of the year. They are back, so they're going to be weekly team trainings. Whenever we have done these trainings as a team, like they are so good for you guys to know who's in the team, who's in the wider team, upline, sidelines, and build that community. And you just know you've got that support from others because a lot of the time you might not know, especially if you're kind of newish or you're building, you might not know others who are in our team. So as Pearl and I was talking, and we still do encourage you to jump on the 9 o'clock trainings as well, because those are just so incredible and you get the top leaders across Australia and New Zealand. But the point of difference for this call is that it's mainly aimed, like we know what's going on with this team and how to help you more specifically to like where you're at in your business, where you might need more help, where maybe you're lacking, and really just tailor it for you guys, plus build up the community as well. So how these calls are going to run is at the start of the month. By the way, I'll put this in the chat. If you want to speak on these calls, just send Pearl or I a message. Because these are the calls that help you build your confidence and they actually help you build your knowledge as well. So but like speaking on these calls, like if you haven't done much speaking, you don't need to run a whole entire training, but they can start with, sharing a product or a promo on for the month, or something you've learned through experience. Maybe it's your journey to get to district manager, or journey to get to area manager. Like that's how they start and that's how you grow. And that's how Pearl and I have started on these calls as well. We started like as everyone else and we just kind of done more and more over time. So I just want to put that out there as well. But for these calls, the start of the month will always be, there's always going to be skills throughout the month, but the start of the month we'll do, what's on for the month. So, the promos, anything that's going on with our team. We're going to get Stuart Armfield on once a month. So he's going to be coming on, this month will be the 17th of February. So not next week, the week after, in 2 weeks' time. And he'll run a training, which he's just a really good leader, really good, like really knowledgeable, just real good energy as well. So we had him on a call a couple of weeks ago when we did that vision board. And then what else? Yeah. And so tonight for skills training, I'm going to chat about just like our online presence and how we can really talk to people without feeling like we're cold messaging or kind of feeling like you're just following people just to make a sale or just to, we don't want to just go on all in Arbonne because if that happened to you, if someone that happened to you, that you just kind of feel a bit ick. Like I know if someone just came straight to my inbox and just said, hey, would you like to buy this product or would you like to join my team? Or just like, well, I don't know who you are. So like, I just probably wouldn't reply, to be honest. So I am going to get some notes out. We have the month in a glance. So I just want to share something too. I don't know how to do it. Sorry, guys. It's actually been a long time since I have run a training. I don't know if I can do it. Anyway, I don't know where it is. I don't know if I can pull it up. But I want you guys to put this on. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. You can tell I've just have not done this for a while. I want you guys to put on your list to do is that make sure you log on to your Arbonne account and that all your comms, like your emails, are turned on. So you just have to log into your account, go to I'm pretty sure you're pressing your little logo or and it should say account settings or communications. It's somewhere in there, and just make sure those are on, because Arbonne they send a lot of emails, but at the start of every single month, they'll send you like a month at a glance. It's called something like that, like February at a glance or what's on in February. And it says view the mag. And that's what I sent through in the email. So yes, we can share more information into the team, but it's as us, we want to be able to teach ourselves to learn ourselves as well. And, if we really want to go after our goals, we actually have to, we are the ones to do it. Like you can get your team to help you, but it's up to you to put in the work and actually understand where to find it. That is what I wanted to share you. Okay. I'm not going crazy. Here it is. Please tell me you can see my Arbonne. Okay, cool. So what this part here is, I want to show you the source, because this part here is where you can just look.
It's all black, Em.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
And then it didn't.
Let me start again.
Just remember when you first go onto it, it's going onto that initial screen. Like often it won't jump screens. Nuts. Still just black. Is it black for everyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awkward. Okay.
Are you, oh, there we go. Oh, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's your
Got
website.
that.
But
So
it's
you
half of it.
Okay. What else have I got like that? Can you see it better now?
No, it's like a split screen. I can't even say I've experienced that.
Okay, well, can you see this part here where it says the source?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my main part I want to show you guys.
Right.
I don't know what's going on, guys. It's like it's been a while. Okay, so like I said, everyone can do this business. You don't have to be perfect.
Right.
So when you log onto your Arbonne account, you can go to your dashboard, and then these 5 come up. The source is the second one, and I'm going to click on it and show you. Hopefully this shows. But this source is like your dictionary. It's like your back office. It's like your filing cabinet. It's got everything in there. It's kind of a bit hard to see with my screen only so small, but you can see view categories. This usually shows on the left-hand side, but you've got like trending now, favorites, product toolkit, your business tools. So like these are all any live trainings that they were done, success plan. You've got products training here. There's like a VP section. There's a, which that won't show anymore.
We can't see any of that, babe. Just
Okay.
sitting.
All right. Well, I don't know what's happening. I won't do that. But basically at the end of the, I don't know what, I must be like sharing a couple screens, but I don't know how to get out of it. But yeah, the source is somewhere where you can actually still go and look up anything. So if you ever get lost, I want you to make sure that you, like, yes, we are always here to help, but if we're building teams, we need to teach our teams to be independent as well. Because imagine when you have thousands of people, because it's going to happen. Imagine thousands of people coming to you asking for help. And then if I, like, say, for example, if people ask me help, I love to help. But if it's something like really basic, I will just send you, I'm like, hey, would you love to go have a look at the source? If you can't find it, then ask me. Because I'm probably just going to go back to the source and ask, or I'll check like another Facebook page. But that's just something else to know. Okay. So make sure your comms are on, and then now you know the source. And now I'm just going to put my notes on the side so I can keep on track, because I'm going to get into the proper training. So get your pens and whatever out. All right, that's not it. There we go. So I'm going to train on attraction marketing. And I must admit, this is something that takes like, it's not hard, but it's like, it does take a bit of, it takes commitment showing up online to actually make this really come like stand out. Okay. So I'm just pull the chat up so I can see it. So how to use, like, topics is how to use attraction marketing to grow your business, how to find people without cold messaging, and how to craft a message online so that people are attracted to you and coming to you. Okay, so all those kind of blur into one. But I've written down some bullet points for you so you guys can actually kind of like go through them and like actually just put them into action after this. So the first thing to look at your social media. So whatever you're using, if it's Instagram or Facebook, I'm big on Instagram, but I know some people on Facebook, some people are, I think Stacey's really big on YouTube, is you want to look at your Facebook page, your Instagram page, like your website, like your business page. And it doesn't mean it has to be super like, it doesn't have to be super professional. Like, we're in a business where people want to come to us because they relate to us. So if you look at my Facebook page, Instagram page, sorry, like my kids are a lot of my brand. So my brand is like my fitness, my health, my business, my kids. That's my brand. Okay. So your brands are like probably something you do every single day, because it needs to be something that like just comes naturally to you. And then you just weave Arbonne in and around, and you just kind of find your ways. But like just showing up every single day really does help. Okay. And so you kind of think of it like think of a cafe versus your Instagram account or your social media account. People want to trust that you're the real deal, and they want to trust that you're open. So think about a cafe. If they were open one day, then they weren't the next, and then you came back the following week and they're open, then you went and you said, hey to my friend, we'll go next Friday to this cafe to get a coffee, and then it's shut. You're like, you probably won't trust that place to go there again because you never know if it's going to be reliable and be open. So think of that like your Instagram or your stories, especially your stories. Like your stories, there needs to be something on there every single day because then people know you're open. They take you seriously. They see that you're there. Once again, that does not have to be Arbonne. It can be your kids. It can be your fitness regime that you just did. It can be Kayla's loves horses, whatever's going to come into your every single day life. And then, so that's like kind of like your baseline. Just if you think about your social media, it's your baseline. It's kind of like that know, like, trust. People want to know that you're real. They want to see who you are. They kind of want to have a bit of a nosy. They just want to get that feel. And yeah, showing up basically in my eyes definitely is like, you're putting your opening signs up. And I have heard in the past, I've heard other girls talk about like how they put their glow drink on, or green gut glow drink on their stories every single day, which is so true. I don't though, because I have mine at like 5 a.m. and I'm like absolutely like not looking presentable at all. But I need to kind of figure out something else to put in my day. But I am still on my Instagram every single day. Where am I my notes? I don't want to go off because I can talk a lot. You guys know that. Yeah, so I'll share more on how to show your life soon. Because you don't need to have your entire life online, okay? But firstly, before we even do that, we need to know, so this is something to write down. You need to know who you want to attract into your business. Like, who is your ideal consultant? And I'm just trying to find where I put it. I'm going to read you my ideal consultant as an example. You need to get really clear. So this is my ideal consultant, like probably half a page. And I've been reading it every morning, every night. Okay, so my ideal consultant is a driven, fit, fun mum who already has a social media presence. She's already posting things about her life and her kids. She's got young kids at home and doesn't like that she needs to spend so much time, so much time away from them because her work is so rigid. She wants more flexibility, but wants something of her own so she can still have fulfillment and a purpose outside of motherhood with her own flexible schedule. She's tired and stressed and working and being a full-time mum too. She comes across my page and relates so much to my story, me as a person, and loves the flexibility I have. She related to me and all my mum struggles and loves how I can still be a driven businesswoman in and around the demands of kids. She gets curious to what I do and stalks me a little. She loves how driven and motivated I am and inspires her to message me and ask more questions about what I do. She's desperate for change and can see I'm able to help her. She loves the sound of all the personal and professional development that comes with this business and the incredible like-minded, driven community of women she will be surrounded by. And that's something that's missing from her life. She loves when I said that this is an effort-based and uncapped income. I'm just going to note down there. That's what Pearl Williams said to me. And that was something that stuck out when I started anyway. She asked to join soon after and is ready to invest money in multiple lines of products so she can get started using and sharing from her heart. She's inspired by me and my goals to go to the top of the company and thinks, why not me too? This is now her goal. She comes in ready to work and create a massive impact and a huge income and lifestyle change and willing to be coached and put herself out there. And she comes and earns the next AIT trip alongside me within her next 3 or 4 months. And she's so happy. She's found a community of driven women who are here to support her and lift her up. And most of all, give her time back with her kids. So that's really detailed. I can copy and paste that and share with you if you want. But it's almost like you know her journey. And one thing that I can like definitely give advice on is it's probably the old you, or it's probably where you once were. That's your ideal client because you've been there in their shoes and you know their struggles and you know how to talk to them. So part of that in there is definitely who I once was, is just wanting that time back with my kids, but I wanted something purposeful and driven and I am a driven person. And just even though I've put all that detail in there, it doesn't mean you don't attract other people. You'll still attract, like, you can attract people who aren't mums, even though that there is all about a mum. You can attract different people into your life. It's just the fact that, like, that was so descriptive that she comes onto my page and looks who I am. So, like, on my page, if you go onto your store, save stories, she knows how to stalk me and look at like some like evidence and proof and what would I do. So yeah, so that's something definitely go write down, like take some time. It's definitely worth taking time on because you're gonna base all your content around that, and anything you do in your stories, you're gonna be speaking to that person. And it's gonna really help you instead of like when you show up with the green gut glow, you're not gonna be like, here's my green gut glow. And that's it, because no one knows what that is. You can be like, this is what's happening, like this is what I've been struggling with iron levels, low iron levels for years, and this is something that's helped me and cleared out my skin. Or you can speak of like, I've got my energy back, speak about like that where that person wants to be rather than like it's greens powder, pre and probiotics, something like that, because that's what you hear everywhere. Okay, so then once you know your ideal consultant, we want to know where this person hangs out. And so this is the important part, because if you don't know who your consultant is, you don't really know where to find people on Instagram. So people on Instagram, sorry, I've got my notes everywhere. I'm like kind of a bit disjointed this week. Just get my other board out. So like, for example, if I use my one, for example, you want to find like five to 10 containers, like let's just say 5 to start. Where would that person be hanging out? So the ideal consultant I just said, where would they be hanging out? Okay, so I've written mums groups, Pilates, or gyms. They might be following other fitness accounts. They might be, because they're a driven woman, they might be following other networking events, like they do that woman in business thing. I'm having a mind blank. But anyway, you kind of get the gist, like where would that person be hanging? And then you go to those Instagram pages where they're hanging out. So if I said my first one's like a mums group, I find a mums group in Hamilton who's on Instagram, and I go to that page and I look who else is following that page. And then this is where like you have to kind of like, it takes time to like go through, but you just look who is that following that page, who's liking some of the posts. And then I always choose the people, I just go straight to people who's got stories on, because if they've got stories, they're probably active on social media. So I'll just go onto their account, and then if it's not private and they kind of look the part, look like, I have no idea what these people like, you kind of get a gist, but you don't really know until you start talking to them. And I just follow, like I'll literally just spend like half an hour a day, like just going and following people, but then I'll leave it there and I won't talk to them. I won't just follow and message straight away. I want them to follow me back, because I want them to see that like I might be valuable in their life. I want them to be like, oh, like actually I want to follow her back. She seems like someone I could learn from. And then once they've followed you back, if they don't follow you back, that's all good. Like what happens, so then if they don't follow you back, all good. They generally just pop up on my feed later and I'm like, who's this chick? And then I just go see. And if they haven't followed me back, I'll probably just unfollow them, because they probably weren't interested in me. And then I also find it really weird when people always like my stuff who like don't even follow me. How do I, who I don't follow back. When you get those people that just like 10 of your posts, like really randomly, I'm like, I know, like but then I don't talk to, I'm just found it really weird. So when people, if I've followed so many people, because I'm also very aware like what I consume. So if I'm following lots of people and lots of them haven't followed me back, just over time, I'm just like unfollowing them, because I realize who they are. And this is where you have to like kind of have like a notepad, or kind of like making notes about who's following you back. Okay, off topic. Well, I kind of went a bit left. Okay, so how do we start talking to these people? Okay, so you want to wait for them to follow you back. Once they've followed you back, you find there's 2 ways of doing it. You either send them a message and say something like, hey, thanks for the follow back. I see you have 2 boys, they look similar ages to mine. What ages are yours? Mine are 3 and 4. Or you like that's one example, but just make it like real general chit chat and just go from a post that's on their page. So like probably the most recent post. That way you haven't like gone right down and stalked them. The second way, which I actually find is working better, is I reply to their stories. And said, because there's and I try to recommendations where I can. So this is literally something I've done before. And actually this is something just to shout Bronwyn out that she's done to me before is so you can reply to a story, she'll get it once you hear it. So you can reply to her story with something in common. So if I'm following another mum with little kids who won't go to sleep, that was kind of where I was like probably 6 months ago, the kind of the better now. But I'd be like, hey, thanks for the oh no, hold on, wait. That's the first one. This is the example. I said, oh my gosh, I totally get overwhelmed with the kids at night trying to go to bed. That was such a hard time. Have you ever heard of a Houdini lock before? And that's it. A Houdini lock, by the way, is something that kind of locks the door but leaves it ajar a little bit. And I'm just letting you know that's what Bronwyn told me like how many years ago. Thank you, Amanda. Oh, thank you. Oh, Amanda's just jumped on. Okay, so yeah, and then you just let the conversation flow from there. Okay, so I'm just going to, hi Amanda.
Hi.
So then I'm just getting to the end of the chat, by the way, but you can still listen in. So once you've done that, like you can let the conversation flow and you will kind of get if it is like, if this person's going to be open to talking more about something like a business, coming to an event. I actually might just run I'm probably going to run maybe like 5 minutes over. But I think this is important because I think this is really like good for you guys to hear. So some of these conversations, just be open that these conversations might be going for a few days, a few weeks, a few months. Some people I connected with 6 months ago and they're kind of coming through now. And you just want to kind of like build these, you just want to be ongoing in chats. And so when you are like, say I literally block out half an hour on a minimum a day to do this, to go follow people and then just kind of like keep these conversations going, replying to stories, and just with no agenda about them wanting to join the business, no agenda to them wanting to try products, like just getting to know these people. Because if you manage, it's just put yourself in someone else's shoes. If someone replied to a story, like, you just want to build that connection, you like that trust with these people.
Yeah, just real quick. When you with those conversations, because I think this is a great one, is when you have that initial thing, like you've just said, or you've messaged that person, you've, had something similar, you've convoed, they've come back with a not necessarily a big open-ended thing where it's like, yep, had that, your kids haven't been sleeping or whatever. Yep, mine too. So, glad for the holidays, whatever, or something. Do you try to drag that out? Or what do you do there?
Yeah, so that's when you've kind of got to read the conversation. So if it comes back like kind of short, I will like maybe prompt it one more time with a different question. And then if it's short again, I'm probably like, okay, well, this person's probably not open-minded for making new friends or new connections kind of. So you got to really, but you can get it. Like you get it when people come back and they're like, yeah, oh my God, my son, like honestly, he just like runs out the door and like, when you get those people that just chat a little bit more and like a bit more chatty. So those are the ones that you really just want to kind of like really get to know and then you just start asking more questions. But yeah, that is a good point, Pearl. Don't push it. Like you gotta think about this person that your ideal consultant is. You have to work with them. You actually have to work with them. So if they're going to be hard in the conversations, like they're probably going to be hard to work with anyway. And our job is literally it's literally to educate people and then it's their job to decide. Where am I on my boats? And loop back in the beginning of the training. Oh, sorry. And looping back to the beginning of the training where I said we needed post regularly. This is why it's super important because now you're in all these conversations, they're going to end up going onto your page and stalking you. And if you're not showing up consistently, they're going to be like, well, what does she do? Do I trust this person? So it's kind of like a big loop. Like there is a lot of like parts to this and it does take practice, but it's actually like super easy once you just like basically your number one job is to stay consistent on social media and be open to conversations. Like that's pretty much like two things. So yeah, like just always showing up, but you'll know by you'll know who the right people are to talk to. Okay, last thing, and then a call to action, then we'll jump on the other call. So you'll know, like one thing you're doing as well is just being super aware of who you're following. You've probably heard that before. Who are you following online? Do they lift you up, or do you kind of feel like your comparison? And I still 3.5 years in, I know where I am in my journey, but there are still people I watch and I'll be like, you can still kind of have like a bit of comparison in you. And I think it's because it's no matter where you are growing to, there's like, what's it called? Every level, there's another devil. So every level in life you're at, like personal development, where you're at, like there's always something you're chasing. And I hear it from people at the top of the company, they still can feel insecure about stuff because, like they're so knowledgeable, but they want to be reaching bigger goals. And so they're almost afraid they're not showing up as that higher self, So your call to action before we jump on the next call is, one, you want to know who your ideal consultant is. If you want me to send this, I can. So you can kind of like understand detail. Like, where does she live? Where does she hang out? What are her hobbies? Even like, where does she like to shop? If you want to build big, you'll be blocking out time to do this, like undivided time every single day. And it's not hard to get on your phone. I literally sit on the couch at night and scroll my phone and go find these people. And then it's honestly, I'm like, I can't believe this is work. If you want to be growing, you're going to do that every single time. The longer, the better. The more conversations you're having, you want to be in like, if you really want to be growing big, like 30, 40, 50 conversations a day. If you kind of like here and there with a business, like just do little conversations, like 1 or 2, 3, 5 conversations a day. Everyone does this business differently. So you just figure out where it suits you. And have fun. I literally wrote that as a point because you want to have fun. But I'm going to leave that there. Does anyone have any like quick questions? Otherwise, we'll hop into the other call.
I love that, babe. It was so on point, so good. I wrote so many notes. I love it.
It's so simple. But okay, this is recorded, so if you need to watch back, we'll do that. But let's jump on and watch Fabs, who's just got off from Maui. She's incredible to hear people who come out from Maui. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.